Okay, the Donald Trump-Putin summit in Alaska happened.
President Trump, I think, is just crystal clear that Putin's back is against the wall. And I think he demonstrated that clearness with his very first action before saying a word, with the fact that he flew B-2 bombers over his head.
Why was that important?
Okay, this is probably the most viral moment of this whole meeting. Some people are saying that it looked like Putin got scared. I want to say that Putin is shorter than Trump and he struggled with the steps. You see, from this angle, it doesn't look like he got scared. It looked normal. And when I see stuff like this, my initial reaction is usually like, what did we get out of that? And how much did that cost? And I just did a quick Google search to fly a B-2 bomber, just a flyover like that. It costs about $40,000 per hour. And then you got the 4 escort fighter jets. Those are around $30,000. So you're looking at around $160,000 US tax dollars, by the way, for like a 10-second clip. So I don't know. You could tell me what you guys think. That's just my initial reaction when I see stuff like this, because, you know, kind of unnecessary. And even on the Fox News guy, he's like, what was the purpose of that?
I think that was not an accident, obviously. For him to fly a B-2 bomber over Vladimir Putin's head, it was a signal to him that when President Trump says, hey, there could be very serious consequences, he's saying that these serious consequences can be very far-reaching. Maybe it's fires that we sell to European countries or other NATO countries that can reach Moscow or St. Petersburg, or oil refineries or other things. Or maybe it's other weapon systems that we make sure get into the hands of the Ukrainians. I think that's what I read between the lines of that number one action of them stepping on stage and having that bomber go overhead.
And the other thing that went very viral about the whole meeting, and I'm pretty sure this was unintended but totally avoidable, was this right here, the red carpet rollout, with the military rolling out the red carpet for Putin when he got off his plane. Not a good look. I'm just gonna say, next time, don't have them do it with military uniform. The uniform look, rolling out the red carpet for the Russian plane, not good. It just, if we're still back in the Cold War era, like if you showed this image to your grandpa, we don't know what's gonna be the outcome of this meeting. Who knows? There could have been some interesting things that went down behind closed doors that we just don't know about. What I find interesting, though, is how each side, I guess, of the aisle is interpreting this meeting. Let's just take a look.
Today, Donald Trump masterfully demonstrated the art of no deal.
This was his meeting on U.S. soil with U.S. bombers ahead. Mm-hmm. Look at the step and repeat behind them. It says pursuing peace. Do you think Vladimir Putin wanted to stand in front of a banner on U.S. soil, a foot shorter than the U.S. president, in front of words that say pursuing peace? That's the goal here. But that's President Trump's goal. And the last thing
Okay, I do like this spin on the whole story. The whole point of the meeting was to get Putin to stand behind a poster that says pursuing peace. I mean, okay, we're still very early on. We don't know what's the total outcome of this whole thing. You know, this is day one of this whole process. I do want to say that from what we've seen so far, it felt like we could have accomplished we could have had the same outcome with a phone call or a Zoom meeting.
He was the one who offered this meeting. He was the one who invited Putin to U.S. territory. He was the one that put together this summit that clearly there was very little preparation for, and they came out empty-handed.
I'll say is, Putin, I disagree completely with who said he's got cards to play. He got the first word, the first statement. I think today the most important word to get was the last word.
In the vehicle. But then in the press conference, Putin looked chipper. he looked upbeat. He looked like somebody who was satisfied with the meeting, not as though he was somebody who was given an ultimatum about what's going on in Ukraine. He did look very upbeat. And Donald Trump, he spoke for a very short period of time. I know people think that it was Putin who didn't want to take questions. That might have been the case. But also, I think the American side didn't want to take questions either, because there's no good answers to what has happened. They were making.
What do you guys think about the whole meeting overall? I said it before. I feel like we could have accomplished this whole thing over a phone call or a Zoom meeting. That's what it felt like. It didn't feel like you needed to do the whole face-to-face meeting. Maybe they wanted to do the face-to-face meeting so they can see each other. Some people are saying it looked like it was like two long-lost lovers meeting each other, for the first time after a long-distance relationship. I mean, kind of. I mean, Trump did look extra giddy when he saw him. A little too much, I have to say. Pull it back a little bit next time. Pull it back a little bit. What else that was interesting? Oh, I found that it was pretty interesting that Putin started talking about the history of Alaska and how, in a way it used to be part of Russia, blah, 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 blah. My comment on that is the last time Putin started talking about the history of some land or some place that used to be part of Russia, that's how we got into this whole Ukraine situation. So I don't know. What else? I mean, that's my main takeaway from the meeting. It just felt like a big waste of everybody's time. In a way, this whole thing got us talking about this instead of the Epstein files. So it bought Donald Trump a few more days, I guess. That could have been the purpose. Who knows?